Now, yes, the setup is the exact same. The lights are, I would grab the computer and like show y'all the setup, but I can't really grab it and then put it back in the same place. But the mic is still not on. I'm in the same skiing shirt. Y'all are not stupid. People are attentive. So if I pull up in a new fit and some glasses and I'm like, yo, I'm recording on a different day, why the lighting look the same? Because we are in the same position. I have not moved, but the setup low key looks nice. And I hope that even though it is going to be a little more echoey, the microphone not being used actually helps with some of the feedback when I do edit these videos. That's besides the point, though. Today, we're here to talk about Tom Thibodeau. I just want to get something out the way, and no disrespect to Tom Thibodeau as a person, but he was never that good. Now, Tom Thibodeau's most recent coaching stint was the New York Knicks coach from, let's look at the timeline here. Tom Thibodeau was the New York Knicks coach from 2020 to 2025, but before that, he was the assistant coach from 1996 to 2004. He's also worked with the Spurs, among other teams, other colleges as well. He was a coach at Salem State. He was a coach at Harvard. He was a coach of the Minnesota Timberwolves from 1989 to 1991, the Spurs from 1992 to 1994, the Philadelphia 76ers from 94 to 96. Obviously, not all head coaching positions. Most of this was assistant coaching staff, including working with, was it Jeff or Steph Van Gundy? It was Jeff Van Gundy. I just checked right now. From 96 to 2004, assistant coach on the New York Knicks. Then we had a break, and then we had head coach of the Chicago Bulls 2010 to 2015. Obviously, that was the whole D Rose saga, Luol Deng, etc. Then we have Timberwolves head coach from 2016 to 2019, and then we have the New York Knicks head coach from 2020 to 2025. There is an issue with all three of those teams that Tom Thibodeau showed when coaching. He has a very heliocentric offense around one player. On the Chicago Bulls, who was it? It was Derrick Rose. He ran Derrick Rose into the ground, and then he got injured in that Philadelphia 76ers series that changed the trajectory not only of the Chicago Bulls as a potential legacy challenger of LeBron James. I don't think Bron would have ever lost to Chicago because he already whooped him once, but a potential legacy challenger to LeBron James, or at least a contender in the Eastern Conference after LeBron James left, to the Chicago Bulls to where they are now. The New York Knicks, Minnesota Timberwolves, same thing. He keeps running the offense through one player. That is a problem with Tom Thibodeau again and again and again. When we look at assist averages, when Jalen Brunson is on the floor, I believe the New York Knicks average around 2.9 assists per possession, or 2.9 passes per possession, When he's off the floor, they average 4.7 passes, per possession. But that's not even the problem. The problem is simply the fact that Tom Thibodeau never showed me a game plan to win. He never showed me a game plan that actually warranted winning basketball. Tom Thibodeau's game plan is, we're going to have the best player score for 45 minutes, and if that can't be sustained, we're going to have the next best player score for 45 minutes, and then we're going to have the next best player score for 45 minutes. The Boston Celtics series is the first time, the Boston Celtics series this year, that is the first time I saw Tom Thibodeau really have a game plan. Force Jaylen Brown on weak sides, dominate the paint, make sure Boston doesn't get second chance opportunities, close out, and trust Mikal Bridges on defense. That was a complete New York Knicks victory against the Boston Celtics in that series. OG Anunoby was playing good. Josh Hart was more integral to the offense. Tom Thibodeau did what he needed to do to take this Knicks team to the finals. He did exactly what he needed to do. You get OG involved, you get Josh involved, you get Mikal scoring again. You take it away from Jalen Brunson. You don't just give Brunson the keys to the end of it and just have him do everything. It's not like, Hesse, tween, dribble, and then cat for three. You had the Knicks actually playing cohesive basketball, but the issue is Tom Thibodeau. He doesn't know how to make in-game adjustments. He doesn't know how to coach around multiple guys. I mean, Mikal Bridges was averaging the least impactful and quiet 15.7 points per game in the playoffs I ever saw, because that doesn't matter when your team is down 30 and then Mikal starts getting shots up. It doesn't matter. We've seen multiple blown leads. We've seen a lack of identity. We saw a lack of consistency with this New York Knicks team. And again, this is something on the Minnesota Timberwolves team that Jimmy Butler was upset about. Jeff Teague said it on the podcast. Tibbs don't really be coaching. And when you're a coach in the NBA, the reason you keep jobs is adjusting. When you look at a guy like a Rick Carlisle, he keeps his job on the Pacers after having slightly disappointing stints with the Dallas Mavericks after winning that ring. He keeps his job because of in-game adjustments. There are great coaches in the league that are not good at in-game adjustments. If Steve Kerr wasn't blessed with Stephen Curry, I would argue that sometimes he would not be in the league for as long as he should have been. I think that Steve Kerr does show up in the playoffs. I think Steve Kerr is a playoff rising coach. I don't think he's a regular season coach. He might just be one of those guys. And then this whole thing about Jason Tatum on the Olympics, I don't know. Maybe he saved us. I'm joking. Obviously, he's a Boston Celtics fan. I just think Jason Tatum, he didn't fit on that team when you have Kevin Durant. That's how I'm going to look at it. And Jason Tatum, throwing him in the Serbia game or throwing him in the gold medal game and being a main focal point of the offense would have been unfair to both parties, because Tatum's not warmed up And it would have looked bad if Tatum wasn't warmed up and then he had to get warmed up in order to play good. I digress though. What I'm saying is when you look at Tom Thibodeau's coaching career, it's less about game plans and it's more about personnel. And then on top of that, he doesn't know how to utilize the personnel properly. He falls in love with a lot of guards. He's like, oh my gosh, we got Derrick Rose. Oh my gosh, we got Jalen Brunson. We're going to carry them to the finals. And when I say we're going to carry them, I mean he's going to carry us. Yeah. And in an NBA that's so diverse, it doesn't work. Look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Yes, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the best player in the world, arguably. Best player on the Thunder by far. But when you look at how that Thunder's team is constructed, I don't know why I keep saying Thunder's team. When you look at how that Thunder team is constructed, and you look at Chet and you look at J-Dub, it's not just Shai winning every night. Sometimes J-Dub will go for 30. Sometimes Cason Wallace will go for 15. Isaiah Joe will go for 17 on perfect shooting. Aaron Wiggins will go, just like this game 2 of the Indiana Pacers Oklahoma City Thunder finals, sometimes Aaron Wiggins will go like 7 of 8 for 3 or 7 of 8 from the field and 5 3-pointers. There are guys that can step up and be consistent, but that's also because he understands that when SGA is hot, defenses are going to collapse. You leave Jalen Brunson out on an island way too many times for my liking. If Brunson isn't hot, the team is going to fail time and time again. And Brunson is not dribbling to look to pass all the time. There was no game plan. It was simply figure it out possession by possession. And we've seen this again in Tom Thibodeau's career. And in all honesty, I really don't want to be the one to say it, but as I said to start this video, he just was never that good. He's a coach that relies a lot on small guards. He relies a lot on having one guy do the load and one guy carry us. And if that guy isn't carrying us, then what's the game plan? He doesn't make good in-game adjustments. He had that one great series against the Boston Celtics where he attacked the weaknesses of teams. And then he forgot how to coach against the Indiana Pacers. He didn't really utilize zone against Tyrese. He was letting them get whatever he wanted. He was letting the Indiana Pacers control and dictate the pace of the game. And if you want to be a winning coach in the NBA, you cannot have a habit of letting the opponent dictate your pace. With that being said, though, guys, again, that is going to do it for us today. Again, as always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Follow the socials in the bio, our Instagram, our TikTok, Twitter, YouTube page, obviously, where you're watching this video, etc. And follow Marcus's socials, Daniel's socials, Samajai socials, Rois' socials, and my socials. As always, if you enjoyed the content, make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you all in the next one.